about going into space, Richard?
I'd love to go into space. I think there could be nothing nicer. So if you're building a spacecraft, I'd love to come with you on it.
It's happening. Sir Richard Branson is going to space. Originally, the next flight for Virgin Galactic was to carry 4 mission specialists, and Branson would fly on his own separate mission. The plan changed a bit to combine the 2 missions for one spaceflight. Branson will operate as a mission specialist on board VSS Unity to evaluate the customer experience for spaceflight. Branson will share the experience with 3 other mission specialists and the 2 pilots flying the VSS Unity. This mission is known as Unity 22. It's going to launch this Sunday, and it's already turning out to be a pretty anticipated event to watch. Stephen Colbert will host the live stream, and musician Khalid will feature a brand new song after the flight is completed. Elon Musk also tweeted and said he'll be there. It is exciting to get to know the crew more and see some young new faces join this mission. Pilots Mackay and Masucci have already flown to space before. Beth Moses serves as the test director and has been to space once before to test the spaceship cabin. And Shirisha Bandla will be the second Indian-born woman to fly to space. If the flight is successful, which I think there is nearly a 100% chance it will be, then Branson will have beaten Bezos to space. And I don't think Bezos or the team at Blue Origin is happy. They recently posted a tweet trying to argue why their New Shepard is better than the Virgin Galactic spaceship. It's interesting. They make a point about New Shepard's windows being bigger, which is true, but some of this could be argued against. They call the Virgin Galactic spaceship a high-altitude airplane when in fact it should be referred to as a rocket-powered supersonic spaceplane. Blue Origin has really been arguing against spaceflight conducted below the Kármán line and almost claiming that it isn't real spaceflight. The Blue Origin CEO has said about a week ago that anything below the Kármán line was not the same kind of experience being above the 100-kilometer line, so there is a debate on where the actual boundary of space begins at 100 kilometers at the Kármán line or at 80 kilometers, in which the United States recognizes as space, and anyone who can get above the 80-kilometer line receives astronaut wings. This was the case with the X-15 program. Pilots received astronaut wings if they could cross above 80 kilometers. Personally, after looking at the science, I believe the boundary for space should begin at 80 kilometers. Why? Well, at this altitude, vehicles behave more like operating within space rather than within the atmosphere. Orbital dynamics override aerodynamics for vehicles at this height, such as satellites could have orbits reaching perigee as low as 80 kilometers. The 80-kilometer versus 100-kilometer boundary for space deserves its own video. The point is, passengers will see the curvature of the Earth and the blackness of space. They will feel the effects of a weightless environment as they float around in the microgravity. Virgin Galactic spaceships will still be in space. Also, out of the 15 launches of New Shepard, only 12 flights were able to get above the Kármán line. So if Blue Origin ever had a flight where passengers failed to get above 100 kilometers, it's going to be kind of difficult to explain that they didn't get to space because it didn't meet Blue Origin's definition of where space begins. And Blue Origin claims Virgin Galactic has no escape system. This isn't entirely true. The Virgin Galactic spaceship can still abort, for example, during the December flight when it needed to end a flight early due to EMI issues. The spaceship can still shut its rocket motor off and glide back to a runway in case of an emergency. NASA's space shuttles wasn't even this safe. The shuttle could detach from its rockets and glide back to safety, but there was no way of shutting off the shuttle's solid rocket boosters. Branson will be the first billionaire who owns a rocket company to travel to space. Branson has been having quite the success in 2021. Virgin Galactic was delayed for years, but now it is finally flying, and their sister company Virgin Orbit is also delivering satellites to orbit, which means Branson's Virgin Orbit has also beaten Bezos' Blue Origin to orbit. Now Branson is about to beat Bezos to space. Some might say this flight feels a little rushed, but this has been planned months out in advance. In my last video, I suspected Mark Stuckey would be a pilot on this flight because of a tweet. I knew he had a history of reading up on experimental test vehicles before he had a big flight coming up. However, he will most likely be playing a key role, such as being part of the communications from ground control. He has been to space before and has an expertise and insight to offer, so it makes sense to have him help communicate from the ground to astronauts on board the craft. Pilot Frederick Sturckow, who was a former NASA astronaut, he flew to space 4 times on the Space Shuttle and twice on VSS Unity, will help fly the mothership VMS Eve for this flight. As for the SPCE stock, I think a lot of people are still waiting to see what the results are for this flight before they invest. Branson's flight might already be factored into the price, but it has slowly been rising, and I expect an exciting Monday following a more exciting Sunday flight. But I believe only after the success of Unity 22, Virgin Galactic will have secured itself as a reliable space tourism company in the eyes of the public. Then Wall Street might get really serious about this stock. They want to see a founder who flies to space safely on a working vehicle before the investment really takes off. Unity 22 didn't have a mission patch, so I asked my sister to make one. I figured it would be a nice complement to the whole space travel experience and would be really cool if passengers could have the patch attached to some clothing, a jacket, or on a t-shirt, so they could show that they're a part of such an exciting mission. So if anyone at Virgin Galactic sees this video, let me know. My sister is interested in sharing her artistic skill. Overall, Unity 22 will go down in history and mark a significant point in the making of space travel more available to the masses. But this won't be the end. Many more missions will be conducted, and by many more companies. One company alone will not dominate the market. More players will enter, and there will be healthy competition among the space tourism sector. For now, supply won't be able to meet the demand for space travel, and that will be a good thing. I look forward to seeing how this event plays out, and I will cover it more in future videos, so stay tuned. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and follow me on Twitter at StrategistSpace. I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks.